Well, thank you, Ella. You did a great job. Ella demanded to introduce with me, so she's going to help us with the award ceremony. But as she said, welcome to day 11 of the 2017 Milwaukee Film Festival, presented by Associated Bank. And just a note, it's an incredible network and group of supporters, sponsors, individuals, community partners that make this film festival happen. And from the staff and the board of directors. Yes, Ella? Okay, that's good. Thank you deeply from the bottom of our hearts and from the community for allowing this great festival to happen. So a round of applause to all of you here today who helped make the film festival possible. We have a number of awards to go through, so just a brief couple of notes on how excited we are, both about the next 4 days, including today, 5 days of the festival yet to go, but also the next year ahead. Some incredible announcements have been made over the past year, from a new film industry hub that is going to be built here in Milwaukee, which has been supported and brought by our two board members, John Ridley and Chris Abley. Incredibly excited about this initiative that we'll be hearing a lot more over the next year. In addition to that, next July 1, 2017, we'll assume operations of the Oriental Theater in Milwaukee, which we think is one of the best cinema venues in the world. Woo! A huge thank you to the staff who has made this possible. As some people have mentioned, we've developed quite an army of staff members. I think one of the leading staffs for a film festival in the country. If you're on the staff for the festival, could you raise your hand? Maybe take a bow. Not only are they the hardest working people here, they're also the best looking, as I'm sure you noticed. Excluding Christopher. That is one man that does not need sympathy. And in addition to the great staff, the incredible leadership from our board of directors, a number of you are here today, have been with us since the beginning for this great 9-year run. If you're on the board, raise your hand, take a bow as well. Thank you for enabling this great organization and embracing the vision for what we can do here in Milwaukee. And finally, the Oriental Theater wouldn't be possible without the incredible lead support of our donors. We've had 4 major donors for this project who have brought us to $5.5 million raised for this project already. Donald and Donna Baumgartner, Mary Ann and Sheldon Lubar, the Hertzfeld Foundation, and Chris Abley together have made this possible. So thank you so much for making this all possible. And as I just mentioned, I'm very excited to introduce our founder, our co-founder, Chris Abley, our favorite county executive in the universe, the county executive of the Milwaukee Film Festival, and the presenter of the Abley Catalyst Award. Chris?
Hey, Ellen. Does Ellen get to stand? She can help. She can assist. So, what Jonathan said, thank you to everyone here, not just for everything you've done to make a great film festival, but the way you do it. Everybody here, everybody on our board, everybody on the staff of Milwaukee Film has one thing in common, and that is we're not interested in putting together a film festival that is just a film festival or a pretty good film festival. We want a world-class film festival that's going to set the bar for everybody else. You might have heard me say on opening night, I had this funny experience where I was visiting my friend, my counterpart in Salt Lake City, he's the mayor out there, and we're at Sundance, and I was wearing my Milwaukee Film t-shirt, and he had said, hey, it's this big privilege, I can get you in at Sundance, it's a big deal film festival, and I said, yeah, heard of it. And we're at the film festival, and people kept coming up to me and walking by him, and he's the mayor out there, and saying, "Hey, are you involved in Milwaukee Film? I hear they're doing amazing things." To the point where finally my friend Ben's like, I am the mayor out here. I'm like, yeah, that's great, but hey, Milwaukee Film. So anybody, as I always say, who's surprised that we have grown from a small organization to one of the fastest growing film festivals in the country, I just say, get used to it. And the way that happens is everybody here. And we know this is a world-class city that can do anything it wants. Summerfest is the biggest music festival on the planet. Want to know why? Because nobody gave them a memo and said, you have to shoot for second best. Chicago and everyone else can play catch-up. That's what film is, and we're going to be doing a lot more. So we also believe in celebrating great individuals who make a difference. And that's why I'm really excited to give the Catalyst Award this year to the Brico Fund. The Brico Fund, for those of you who don't know, their contribution, their contribution to the film festival has been Brico Forward Fund, which is specifically about funding and empowering local filmmakers. We didn't want to just have a film festival, we want to grow the community. And boy, has it had an impact. The first year we had a very single-digit number of submissions for that local film award. Last year, over 100, and that says a lot about the local film community. Past winners have gone on to do big things, and they're only going to do more, and we are building that network. But none of that happens without their investment. And also, just so you know, I've had the privilege of working with the Brico Fund and their founder, Eline, on an awful lot of causes. And if people don't know, they should. The Brico Fund makes Milwaukee and Wisconsin a much better place. They empower women, they empower progressive policy, they give back to the environment, they help protect the environment, they help with education, and they empower, as I said, women in office, among many other things. And they do it quietly, and they do it because they care, and they know what everybody here knows, that Milwaukee, when we set our sights on something, we stop the dumb arguments and we say this is a goal, don't bet against us. So I'm incredibly proud to present the 2017 Milwaukee Film Catalyst Award to the Brico Fund. And I think accepting for the Brico Fund, my friend Ann Summers.
Turn it around the other way.
Turn around this way. Just get out of here.
Right here, right here. Have you seen it? The shape of Maybe you guys take one step to your right. One more back. Side back. Looks good. Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, Jenny.
Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm really glad that they switched the order this year so I don't have to go after the kids that announce the kid shorts jury because they are always super cute and I can never compete with that. So I'm very happy to go before them this year. As I said, my name is Anna Sanders. I'm the grant writer and shorts programmer for Milwaukee Film. This year I had a great shorts jury made up of Kristen Catalano, George Eldred, and John Gann, who watched 63 short films and made very tough decisions yesterday. So they awarded 3 special jury mentions and 1 overall Shorter is Better jury winner. So I will announce the special jury mentions first. For an imaginative and affecting self-portrait of growing up gay in Russia and the US, the jury recognizes Little Potato for Best Documentary Short by Wes Hurley and Nathan Miller. For Best Directing in a Narrative, the ridiculous humor and energetic performances never stalled in this offbeat comedy, the jury recognizes Make-A-Wish by Jonathan Etzel. And for Best Screenwriting, although the premise was disturbing, the script was thought-provoking and heartfelt, and the dialogue stayed realistic throughout, which was not an easy feat. The jury recognizes All Exchanges Final, written and directed by Annabelle Oakes. then for the top prize, the jury says, best films transport us to new worlds, introduce us to unique and compelling characters, and tell their story in fresh ways. This film does all of these while tap dancing, singing, and spinning through space. The Shorter is Better Jury Award goes to The Burden by Nikki Lindroff Von Barr. And I always like to say, if you haven't seen a shorts program at the film festival, then you haven't seen the film festival. So if that is the case for you, you have about 5 days left to check out a shorts program. So get on it.
I'm Kara. I'm the Programming and Education Director at Milwaukee Film. I'd like to welcome my co-programmer for the Rated K for Kids program, Kirsten Larson, up here, and we're going to introduce our jury, which is no longer overshadowing Anna. So the Rated K program is films for ages 3 to 12 and up. We don't turn you away, we don't check your ID. And a couple of years ago, we initiated an award that is $1,000 cash. That is awarded by kids to the best kids short in the entire program. So we have size small, medium, and large. They watch all of them. You may have seen them around the festival if you've been going to shorts programs that are for sizes small, medium, and large. And they had a deliberation yesterday that went fairly efficiently. So we'd like to welcome bring our Kids' Choice jury up here. Izzy and Daisy Keekoffer, Josephine Gasser, Kyle Kress, and Vivian Kuko. Did I get you all? They are going to be in, they have a... All right, so I'm going to hand the mic off. You can maybe you open it before I hand you the mic. I did a good job of sealing it. Secrets in there.
The Rated K jury for the 2017 Milwaukee Film Festival would like to recognize 2 films in addition to our overall Kids' Choice Award winner.
First, we would like to recognize the film The Little Bird and the Caterpillar by Lena Van Doren for its animation style, reminding us that simple paper animation can sometimes be cool as new computer-generated animation.
We would also like to recognize the film Lemonade Mafia by Anya Adams as our runner-up. This film was very humorous, but also inspiring. We also noted how the filmmaker was able to tell us a lot in a very short amount of time. Finally, our Kids' Choice Awards goes to Litterbugs by Peter Stanley Ward.
This film featured strong characters as well as a powerful anti-bullying message. We appreciated the use of STEM by the female protagonist to solve her problems, and we also appreciated the humor of the awesome squad.
If you've seen the film, thank you, jurors. I'd like to welcome up here to the front one of our co-programmers for the Black Lens program, Dante McFadden, to introduce his jury.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. How's everyone doing this afternoon? Excellent. I'm Dante McFadden, one of the programmers for Black Lens, as Kara just mentioned. My partner, Gerard Blanks, is not here. He may not be physically present, but his presence is felt not just through programming, but with what we've been building with Black Lens with regards to the Black Lens Council. Shout out to the members out here. Also with the Black Lens Engagement Committee, we have Quayla Ellison, Renelle Washington, Kesha Cannon, Robin Reese. How y'all doing? Also the Black Lens Student Ambassadors. Plus my cousin Sarita McFadden is here. With that said, I would like to introduce the jurors for the Black Lens Jury Prize: LaShondra Scott, filmmaker, Armida Tamimu, writer, and Delilah Ballard, filmmaker. And they'll announce the winner.
Hi everyone, I'm Rami Natenugu. I am a film critic for Shadow Act at the Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Hold it close. I'm here with my colleagues LaShondra and Delilah, and we're happy to announce first our jury mention for a smart and compelling documentary on a debilitating disease that the filmmaker was actually battling while shooting the film. We acknowledge the stunning documentary Unrest on ME, or Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, by Jennifer Bria. And our overall prize goes to an arresting work with a striking voice. It's Shola Amu's Dear Mr. Shakespeare on immigrants, Othello, and Shakespeare.
Thank you. So, Kara again. As lead programmer for our Documentary Festival Favorites program, I have the honor of getting to program a bunch of films and then the challenge of selecting only a few of them that can be in competition, because otherwise our jury would have murdered me. Because there's 18 films in that program. That's way too many to ask a jury to watch. So from a selection of the films in that program, I'd like to welcome our jury up to the front, Deirdre Hodge, Greg Bishop, and Joel Van Haren, to announce their award.
Thank you, Kara. And I just want to reiterate what Kara said as far as the number of quality documentary films in this festival, and they're just really peppered throughout the program, so be on the lookout outside the Documentary Festival Favorites category for those films. I'm here with Greg Bishop, Deirdre Hodge. Greg is a programmer at the Atlanta Film Festival, and Deirdre runs Full Frame in North Carolina. So, so there were some really excellent films in competition, but one really stood out for all three of us, and I'll read the description. It's hard, people ask what this film is about, and I think it's about love. It's about family, and it was filmed over the course of a decade. Quest tells the sprawling story of North Philadelphia's Rainey family. Patriarch Christopher, aka Quest, matriarch Christina, aka Mom Quest, and their two children, all swimming against the tide of crime and strife engulfing their inner city neighborhood, offering their home music studio as an oasis for locals to use as a creative outlet for their daily strife. An incredible portrait of the decade's worth of joy and sorrow endured by a family fueled by hope and love. This film is beautiful for a lot of different reasons, but mostly its commitment to not knowing what the story would be over the course of that decade, and the intimacy that the filmmaker made with this family. He approached it with a sensitivity as an outsider, and we really felt that this was basically the story of a lifetime. If you haven't seen it, I apologize. It screened the last time last night. We want to make the award to Quest. And a quick note, director Jonathan Olszewski and producer Sabrina Gordon.
My name's Kirsten. I'm the programming coordinator at Milwaukee Film.
I'm Christopher Pollard. I'm the membership manager at Milwaukee Film. Kirsten and I co-programmed the competition program this year. We were very honored to take it over this year, and we hope you all enjoyed the films. The competition program is up for the Hertzfeld Competition Award, which is a $10,000 prize for Best Film, and we're going to announce that right now.
Can we welcome up our jurors, Eric Hatch, Logan Kibbins, and Tate Bunker? Let's give them a round of applause.
We wanted to commend the programmers for making our life very difficult. All 8 of these films were extremely worthy films. compelling, challenging, risk-taking works that require deep engagement and deep thought. Our deliberation process reflected that. We were allotted 90 minutes and took a little over 2 hours. Yeah, really also want to commend this community. You have something really special here. This is my first time in Milwaukee, and I run a film festival in Baltimore, and it's really an amazing level of engagement you have with these really challenging films. So hats off to you. And thanks to Tate and Logan for really deep conversation. We had a lot of points of agreement, a lot of points of disagreement, but we ended up giving the prize to a film that looks at the history of systems of power and oppression, does it with very personal voice, also with a populist energy that's really refreshing, compelling, and accessible. And I think it's an important film to be seen. Also happens to be one from my hometown, and the prize goes to Theo Anthony's Rat Film.
The baby helped a lot too. So this is the part where I say this is a total tease, but we do have 2 awards that we can't tell you about today, which are our Alan H. Budd and Suzanne L. Seelig Audience Awards for Best Feature and Short Film. But so I'm going to tease you by giving you some front runners in the feature category, in fiction and documentary film, that maybe if they still have screenings you maybe want to check out, but know that there's a huge caveat here, which is that there are many films we haven't even screened yet. My balloting only runs through about noon yesterday, and so there were a number of films that had their first screening yesterday that will still have screenings in these 5 days that we have remaining. So, trust nothing that I say. Don't be surprised by whatever ends up happening. But here's some docs you might want to try to check out if you haven't already. And I'm going to announce these in alphabetical order because it's a surprise. So documentaries that are currently in the front running, highest rated thus far by our audience include Big Sonia, Shabella, Dolores, I Am Evidence, and Rumble, the Indians Who Rock the World. So if you haven't seen those and you notice that they're still showing, check them out. Fiction films that are sort of leading the pack for possible audience awardees in features include Esteban, Like Cotton Twigs, Lucky, The Midwife, and Moon, Guardian of the Moon. That's a rated K film. The kids know what's up. All right, I'd like to welcome up here Jonathan again to introduce our Milwaukee Music Video Show jury. Wherever Jonathan.
I'm not sure where Ella is, but I'll try to do this on my own. So a big commitment of Milwaukee Film. The first program Milwaukee Film ever did was featuring local filmmakers. It was the Milwaukee Show back in 2008, and we've continued that commitment and try to increase both our awards and the amount of them and the number of local presentations. So I'm excited to introduce for the Milwaukee Music Video Show the judges Cal Roach, Grace Weber, who cannot be here, and Tyrone Miller.
Hi everybody, my name is Tyrone Miller, and me and Cal and Grace, who can't be here, we're tasked with trying to pick the best video out of the 11 that were in the competition, but there were 6 others that were a part of this show but that weren't included, and Cal wanted to speak on those as well.
Yeah, we just wanted to acknowledge, I think if anyone was at the screening of the music videos, there were some, all of the videos were really fantastic. It's a great lineup this year, and I feel like we have to mention a couple that were not eligible for the prize. Hot Coffin's Whistle, Hawk and Spit, which is a really fantastic video that was actually filmed in the Oriental Theater. Fantastic. And also Mariel Alschwang's Aquarium, which is a great, very completely unique video and animation style.
Yes, and Nick, wrap it up. I think we all agree that overall over the last few years, the videos that are coming out of Milwaukee music are just amazing. Like the level of the bar has just been raised from so many new producers and directors out here. So clap it up for just all the videos and just all the it was a tough deliberation, but we all kind of had a similar vibe as far as we were feeling. But we do want to mention Direct Hits Snickers or Reese's video, which had a really great story. The effects were amazing. Jump Quinto and Miguel Diaz's Black Magic was really interesting. Solos, Amputee, Saturday Night Duets, Say Yuppie. And also just got to say this award, whoever wins this gets a $5,000 prize that's split with the artist and the director of the video. But between us three, we all came to the conclusion that Damian Blues and Cody LaPlante's video for Locals from Ishdar is the winner of this prize. So congrats to Ishdar. We're just happy to be part of it. So thank you very much.
I haven't seen Cody or Damien here, is that correct?
Has anybody seen it? Elusive.
Elusive. But excellent. Thank you so much for your work.
Thanks.
And so that program is obviously part of our Cream City Cinema section. Very excited to annually present this. Our jury for this program, which can join me on stage now, Nicole Bernardi-Reese, Toby Leonard, and Robert Patla, sorry. So just to mention, I mean, these, our local work is so important to us, and we always make sure we have it in good hands. Nicole is executive director of IFP Chicago, a great filmmaking organization that's our neighbor, and we hope to work with a lot more. Our buddy Toby is at the Belcourt Theater. If anyone wonders what Milwaukee Film strives to do with the Oriental Theater, pay attention to the Belcourt in Nashville. It's a national model for what it does, and we very much look up to them. And Robert, our good friend, is now with HBO, and I think wants to sponsor us in the future, right? Yeah. Or is that just a discussion? Or...
We'll make it happen. We'll figure it out.
Make it happen.
Excellent. So the Cream City Cinema, there's 2 awards. I can bring Ella over if you want.
Exactly. Ella's great at this stuff. Okay, so Toby's actually going to introduce the major winner of the $5,000 prize. Nicole's going to actually introduce the winner of the $2,500 prize. But we each had a short or a film in our category that we just wanted to acknowledge that we really liked. And so mine was Seeking Century City. I just wanted to acknowledge being from Milwaukee and knowing how difficult it can be to be a black man or just a black person in Milwaukee. This documentary, this short, I think really touched on a community that's ready to work, that's ready to engage, that's family oriented, and just a very positive representation of the city and our people and the people that comprise our beautiful city. So we just wanted to acknowledge that film because not only was it well produced, but it had an amazing message as well.
If I could acknowledge one for a particular reason, I think it would have to be for its absolutely stunning cinematography and imagery. There's a film called Deer Queen. If you get a chance to see it, I would encourage you to do so. It's very short. It won't last you a long time, but I think you'll appreciate it.
And then the final film that we just wanted to acknowledge is a film that actually is a very unique Wisconsin story that connects it to history, and it's got a really interesting personal dynamics and asks questions about why people do things for their entire lives. So we'd like to acknowledge Manline. All right, so I am now going to talk a little bit about the student,
Give away money. You're going to give away
I'm
money.
going to give away money. It's my favorite thing to do in life, actually. And so this is for a student award. $2,500 is going to a film that we all agree was incredibly ambitious and creative and delivered on its promise. And that is, if we could give this filmmaker everything in the world, like you could just put all your money here, right here, we can give it to her, we would. but since we have only been tasked with this award, we would like to award Angela and Shannon.
Thank you guys so much. And that means a lot. Like, I appreciate your kind words. And thank you to everyone in the community that's came to the screening and just supported it. It was a huge production that took an army of puppets and people to make.